Hey everyone, if you're here, then you just completed the Discord tutorial and now you are watching this video, which is going to be the Minecraft server tutorial. Right in this room, you're going to spawn inside the player area, and basically what this is this is the world spawn, and if you don't set your spawn point somewhere else, and if you die, you're going to spawn right back here. So I recommend you do that right when you get out. You can right click the heads to see who these people are. This is Skytrex and that's Flamey. And you're also going to notice that you spawn with two items. You're going to spawn with the single ride tickets and the 1-ups. You're not going to spawn with the fireworks. The single ride ticket, you can right click and it'll activate, and you're going to find out what happens with it later. These ones you don't want to right click right now. So what the 1-ups do is that if you die, you should right click only one of these to reclaim your lost inventory. Don't duplicate with this. I don't want to take them away. Core Protect logs will tell me when these are used. You should put these into your ender chest so that if you die, you can get back your inventory. Alright, in order to get out, you have to stand outside the elevator shaft while the elevator comes down. And then you can hop on the elevator and it'll automatically go up. If you're laggy and you glitch through the elevator and you can't get up, then just send me a support ticket and I'll fix it for you. And just so you know, if you right click this on an ender chest to try to put it in, it's going to clear your inventory. So basically what this does is it just gives back your inventory, but if you didn't die recently, it's just going to clear it. So make sure that when you're putting this into an ender chest, you don't clear your inventory. You have to right click it with something else. This elevator right here was custom designed by me and it has a few secret areas. I'll show you those later. As you can see right here, there's a nice little helipad here. And it will go down automatically. Alrighty. Right here is the Arctic Citadel. If you want to do /spec, you can go ahead and see it. Here are the stairs, and this was designed all by Agent 48. This was all his work, and the helipad was my design. So this is the only part of the world that was built in creative. Everything else was built in survival. There's a red border. It's covered in snow right now, but there's going to be a border. What that does is it prevents PvP within it, and don't spawn camp. There's also a green border, and that's where you can start building. You're going to notice another place has a border too, and that's going to be the PvP arena, which I will show you later. Now, in order to get to the top of the Arctic Citadel, we're going to have to go through an elevator or take the stairs. At the top of the Citadel, what you can do is you can have team selection, and I'll show you what that does. In order to get there, you have to hold W here, into this corner here. And once you're at the top, you can select your team. Team green is going to be the peaceful team. It's bannable if you try to hurt a team green, and it's bannable if you try to hurt someone as a team green. So you can see the name changes. You can choose no team, blue, but I prefer red. You're also going to notice that there's a pretty big drop here, and you can actually go down here. If you look carefully, you may notice that that's carpet right there. And so the funny thing about carpet is that you can put slime blocks under, and this is a fun way to get out of Arctic Citadel. Just make sure to always run and don't hold space, because then you're just going to get stuck somewhere. If we want to go back to the bottom of Arctic Citadel, you're going to have to take the stairs, but once you get back to the bottom, you can go through here. This is the entrance to the subway. You may have seen the subway on the DIN map. You may notice that there's something here, and what this does is it prevents any sort of fall damage. So this is a very good feature, and it's completely in vanilla survival. Now you may notice that there's a pathway down here that allows you to go to the subway station, but there's also a piston bolt here. It's up to you which one you choose, but I recommend choosing the piston bolt. And just so you know, don't press any movement keys while sitting in a line, because that will kick you off the line or somehow break it, and you will not be able to get out since you're not able to break blocks within a protected area. And it'll auto eject you so you don't have to time when you press shift. Also, you won't take any damage if you go through my subway system, as long as you do everything exactly right. Now, this right here is called a fare collector. What it does is it collects fare, and my subway system is going to be paid, This is because we're a capitalist society, not a communist one. So I need to have an economy, and this is how I do it. You get a free ticket. All you have to do is to drop it here. Don't drop random stuff here, because then I will find out if you did it, and I may or may not ban. So you just hop into here, and then you can enter the subway system. But you can also pay with these right here. You can get these somewhere else. I'll show you that later. If you want to get out of a fare collector, all you have to do is to go here, and then you've exited the subway. Remember, if you're in the subway, it's because you've paid fare. Right here, this line that we're about to take is called the Bifrost. The reason it's called the Bifrost is because it looks like the Rainbow Bridge, and that's exactly what I wanted it to be. So this is going to connect Spawn, which is known as Arctic Citadel in the line, and it's going to connect us to Main Station. And if you don't know what Main Station means, it basically leads everywhere else. But first, we're going to see someone arriving at the station. And as you can see, he was auto-ejected and the minecart was stored. Basically, we're just going to get on the line right now. All you have to do is to right-click it. Don't break the minecarts, that's just not cool. Because you ruin it for everyone else. Now remember, when you're on a line, you don't want to press any movement keys because that might break anything. You also don't want to crouch, so don't do that either, because it'll kick you off the line and you won't be able to restart it. Now, these piston bolt lines move at 20 blocks per second, and that's almost as fast as an elytra, and we're just going to take it right now. Right here, we have entered the Bifrost. Up ahead, you can see we have Main Station right here. Main Station, you can guess what it looks like, so here it is. It's pretty. Now, since I don't need these 1-ups, I'm just going to toss it out somewhere. I'm going to toss them right here since I don't need them. And as you can see, auto-ejected as well. Main Station is divided up, so there are a few ways we divide it. If I put something like 2DS in chat, what that means is Terminal 2, Concourse D, southbound. So if you didn't catch it, Main Station is divided up into terminals. There's Terminal 1 and Terminal 2. Right now we are in Terminal 1. As you can see, there's some signs, no entry, 2 ticketing, no re-entry to the subway. And this one leads into the subway Terminal 2. And this one leads to the exit or observation deck, no re-entry. So this is Terminal 1. Terminal 1 holds Concourse A and Concourse B. Concourse B is a Bifrost to Arctic Citadel and Spawn. And Concourse B is the Nether Brick Road to Nether Citadel and the Nether Hub. Now there is something that you should note about this line right here. This line right here only has one track right here. And what that means is that it can only go in one direction at a time, but it can go in both directions. So if you're going to take this line, check the DIN map and see if there's anyone on it beforehand. With a line like this, only the entrance part shares a rail. So you can take the line if someone else is on it. As you can see, it splits off. Right here we have a rail going down and then over. As you can see, here's the rail coming through here. We follow the rail. And there's a rail that leads out straight here. So this one, you wouldn't have to check if someone was on the line. You just have to look a little bit to see if someone is there. This is the only time you're ever going to have to worry about that. So right now we're going to go down into Main Station. We're actually going to go first to the observation deck so you can see what it's all about. And as you can see, we just exited the subway, so we're going to have to pay to get in again. And you can watch a sunrise over the Bifrost. Right here we have someone's house. He's in college, so he hasn't gotten much work done on that. Alright, we're going to go ahead and go on into the subway again. And as you can see right outside here, we have a bunch of rails surrounding it, and what the rails do is it prevents mobs from getting in. Following these signs, we have the exit that way, ticketing this way, and the terminals that way. We are going to get some tickets first. And the currency of choice is going to be diamonds or netherite scraps. I'm also going to show you the admin room later. Inside the fare collector, you're going to see 3 different barrels. And just so you know, once you stand on here, no one else can get it and then steal your stuff. Inside this barrel, you insert payments, and the payment is in the form of a diamond, and that's going to give you a ticket, or a netherite scrap, which is going to give you 2 tickets. Now, I already have 43 tickets here, but I'm going to get, let's say, I'm going to make it so that we have a stack. And in order to do that, we need to have 17 to get 60 plus 4, which is going to be 21. And this should give us a total of 64 single ride tickets. You can place them all in there at once. Now I'm actually going to show you how it works. This right here splits it up into single streams. This right here converts it into tickets. And then it's going to be dispensed right above us here. As you can see, we have 64 tickets. Now there's also something else that you can buy, and that's called a rechargeable subway card. Rechargeable subway cards are eligible for discounted rates, and a rechargeable subway card is really nothing more than a shulker box, but if you don't have it, you're going to pay a really high price for it, and that's 10 diamonds or 5 netherite scraps. In order to buy a rechargeable card, you would place it into here, and I'm going to demonstrate that. First, you put in 10 diamonds. It may take a while to process it, and that's for a specific reason. I'll tell you that later if you want to know. Now, right here, in order to place stuff into here, you would have to first place the card, and then you can place the payment. And the reason that is because you have to load a card first and then pay for it. And just so you know, if you try to buy just recharges without a card, they will stop working once you pass by main station. So I'm going to show you that later as well. Put the card in here and then put the payment right after it. As you can see, the card is placed right up there. And once we stop hearing clicking, that means that we are going to get our card back. And that's about all the clicking there is, so I'm going to get our card. And we should have 10. And as you can see, we have 10 right on cue. And now there's actually an admin room in almost every single location, so I'm going to show it to you. The reason I use subway keys that are compasses is because these are uncopyable. The lodestones are in a very inaccessible location, so you won't be able to grab them. So here's how the admin room works. Now I have to wait to get my key back, and then I can go ahead and go on down. And then you're going to see I have a ton of diamonds here, which I'm going to save for later. Now we can go right down into the subway, and as you can see, we have to pay fare to enter it again. Here are the acceptable payments, and here are the unacceptable payments. This chest you don't have to worry about. And as you can see, we always have an ender chest somewhere nearby in the subway systems. Now what we're going to do is we're going to toss our subway card to him. This is going to open, and don't forget to get it back. If you pay with a ticket, then you're not going to get anything back. Now if you look, we have 9 subway rides left. And basically what that did is it took out one of them. So I actually don't need this subway card, so I'm going to toss it right over here. I don't want that. Actually, you know what? It's probably going to be good for another demonstration. Here is an interesting thing you might notice. As you might imagine, this is another subway admin room, so we're going to try it out. As you can see right here, I can get my admin key back, and then we have access to a ton of stuff. But I don't need any of that for now. Remember, if you use a single ride ticket, you're not going to get anything out. And just so you know, an admin key, if you toss it through, you're going to get it back. I'm going to put this up for now. And we have been to Terminal 1, so I'm going to show you what Terminal 2 is all about. Terminal 2 has concourse C, D, and E. C is known as Blue Line. Blue Line holds a bunch of farms and someone's house right here. And you may think this subway looks a bit different than what you saw before, and that's right. If we do /spec, you can see that there are 3 different lines. This one goes westbound, right here. And this one right here goes eastbound. And this one will end up there. As you can see, if you go on the eastbound line, you go here, you'll go up, and that way. Westbound, you go here, you go up, you go that way. And if you want to get into the station, you go here, down here, and then go through the station. So this is an interesting line. It was not my design, but I've gone ahead and implemented it here. Right here, you can see we can select Iron Farm. And if you're wondering what Beyond is, you really don't want to go there. It's not that interesting. As you can see right here, we also have some more stations. Just don't pick Beyond again. I'm going to first show you red line and the independent lines before I do anything else with the blue line. Right here we have concourse D and E. Concourse D holds the red line. Red line is pretty much the same except it goes north and southbound from main station. Here's the code 2D. Remember, Terminal 2 and Concourse D. Remember that. And right here is the southbound. We have My Island. And we have the Sky Base, and that's Skytruck's base. He's planning to make a travel hub. And we have stuff going in that direction too. Concourse E leads to the independent lines. The independent lines are interesting, and I'm going to show you what some of them do. Here's the line to Neckred's farm. It's a 5-minute ride, and it's a piston bolt. So imagine walking that, and you're going to be glad that we have a subway there for it. I'm going to set my spawn point right now. This right here leads to the end portal and the Enderman XP farm. All you do is hop in. Remember, don't press any movement keys. There's the Enderman XP farm. I'm sure you can imagine what that does, and I have an enchanting station there, so have fun with that. We're going to go back through the portal. And remember, you need to set your spawn point before going through the end portal. Because you know where you spawn? You spawn at your last bed location. So if you didn't set your spawn point, you would end up all the way back at Arctic Citadel. And right now, I'm going to show you some other things about the independent lines. Right here, we have the Ice Highway to Quay's Mansion, and this is a bring-your-own-boat system. We don't provide boats. Right here is the ice line to the slime farm. All you do is stand here, place the boat, and it may take a little fiddling with your cursor to put it in the right place, but once you're inside here, you can get a passenger behind you and just hit this note block above. No movement keys, remember. And once you're ejected from it, it may look like you've glitched somewhere, but that's not true. All you do is hold forward, and there should be a clear path as to where to go. As you can see, you can't go behind, you can't go that way, so you have to go this way. Pretty simple. And this boat line is very nice because it travels much faster than the subway lines. This boat line goes at almost 50 blocks, or actually I think it's 80 blocks per second, and that's 4 times as fast as the subway line. But this is lag based. If you're laggy, then you actually will be slower on the boat line, since the piston bolt line is going to be completely server-sided. This one, you need to have a good connection for it. So there are downsides and upsides to each of them. I personally like both of them equally. And we are at our station. I should mention this before I forget it, but you are going to be issued an ID card it's going to look somewhat like this. Actually, I'm going to show you what an ID card looks like. I have it on my keychain. This is an ID card, and remember, these are uncopyable because I've hidden the lodestone somewhere that you can't get to. Actually, I'm going to hold on to that. And right here, you're going to want to go through here, but not out there. And this is going to lead to the slime farm. I'm just going to show you what one of the farms look like. It is very useful to have an elytra. And if you noticed, I went up for a long time. That's because of duration 10 fireworks. You can craft those. Here's a slime farm. I'll show you how to use everything later. But just as a general rule, if you're at a farm, don't keep the shulker boxes. Like, you don't need a shulker box of slime blocks. Nobody needs that. So just take it out of a shulker box and leave the shulker box here. And always check for one that's already been opened. And just so you know, we have an auto crafting system right here. This auto crafting system allows us to convert slime balls into slime blocks and basically any crafting recipe to be automated. So it's a nice plugin that I like. We're going to go ahead and go down. If you don't have an elytra, you would just be going down, dropping through there. But if you do have an elytra, you can go down here as well. I mean, if you wanted to crouch all the way down there, that's fine, but it's going to take a while to go there. This is what you can do with an elytra. And we are going to take the boat line back. And if you've noticed, we haven't quite paid fare yet. This is because we're not actually in the subway yet. In order to enter the subway, you have to pay fare. Remember what I said earlier? So we're going to pay fare at main station, and this is consistent across all the independent lines. There are no end stations like there are in, for say, Arctic Citadel. If you remember, we had to pay to get in. Right here, you don't have to pay to get onto the line, but in order to exit the line at main station, you would have to pay. And basically what that does is it centralizes the fare collection, because there is something that all independent lines have in common, and that's a common end station, and that's main station. So I've just simplified it and have all of them lead to main station, and you can pay fare there. If you somehow don't have fare when you're at a station, that's going to be unfortunate, and hopefully there is a way out, but not for this. So always have fare ready. And just so you know, you're always going to be able to figure out where to go. You can see we can't go that way, we can't go backwards, we can't go this way, can't go here, so obviously you must go here. Some people have trouble figuring that out. Don't press any movement keys. You're automatically going to get your boat back, and the minecart will disappear into thin air. Right here, as you can see, this is another exit for a line. You may have seen that kind of design for, and here's another exit for a line. And all the boat lines will end up here. You can see there's an exit right there, there's an exit right there, and there's a boat line coming in from here. So everything is going to lead here. Try to have your payment ready before you go into this kind of fare collector. You can see the ender chest is right here for us. And just go ahead and go on in, toss in your ticket or your rechargeable card. And if you don't have a rechargeable card and you toss the ticket, then you don't have to wait for anything to come back because you're not going to get it. Alright, right now we're going to go ahead and test out one of the lines. And I'm going to show you the iron farm line. Actually, you know what, I'm going to show you the wood farm line. That's a lot shorter than the other ones. I don't have the times posted, but you can figure it out pretty easily. Right here, station selection. You can see we've selected wood farm. Just hop in, don't press any movement keys, and you're off. And just so you know, you don't really have to worry about accidentally breaking stuff unless, just try not to hop out of the minecarts early, because then you're going to have to walk across the whole line, and then once you get here, you can't go one block tall unless you have an elytra, so you're going to be stuck in the subway until I get you out, and I don't want to do that. You're going to get 2 warnings before something happens. Right here is the exit. This right here is not an exit, and you should be able to figure that out pretty quickly. And if you will notice, this is the only entrance to the place where you can actually get supplies that are dropped from it. And you can see the subway was the only entrance. So if you were just say outside and you wanted to get into this farm, you would have to go through a subway entrance And we actually do have a subway entrance. I'm going to show you where it is. Down there is a subway entrance. You would have to go into the subway. You don't have to take a line. All you have to do is to turn around and then go up so that you can access here. And don't try to mine anything. It's all core protected. Here's the drop down. No damage taken. And we are going to pay with our card. You can actually place it here if you're an operator or you're an admin. But since you're not, you won't be able to place it here. All you have to do is to drop it there. And I'm just going to place it because I can. Remember to wait for your card right here. And it'll just appear in your inventory. And right here you can see if it doesn't drop to you for whatever reason, you can just pick it up out of here. Actually, you know what? I'll show you the admin room. You may remember that there are admin rooms everywhere. This is no different. All I do is toss it into here, and you can see we drop down. I'm going to get my admin key back, and we're going to have access to pretty much everything here. I don't know what this is doing here, nor do I care. And in order to get out, hit that, and I'm out. I'm going to put this up now. Looks like the only place there's an ender chest was outside, so I'm going to add a new one here. And by the way, you may ever so often forget to pick up your card, and you may lose the stuff in it, so it's always nice to have like 1 or 2 single ride tickets inside your ender chest. That way you can go to main station and buy some more tickets or a new rechargeable card. You don't want to be stuck outside of a station with nowhere to go. Like with this one, you don't want to be stuck there, because then I'm going to have to bail you out, and remember, I don't like doing that. Now the next place that we're going to go to is going to be the Nether Citadel. And the Nether Citadel is pretty important because it's going to be the home for a Nether hub and a Nether travel section. Basically, we're just gonna start mass production first before we add the Nether hub, and it's just going to get to places 6 times as fast as anything in the overworld could. We haven't actually implemented anything yet, but we're going to in the future. And remember, the Nether Citadel is part of the Tri-Line system in Terminal 1. The Tri-Line is Main Station, Arctic Citadel, and Nether Citadel. So those are like the 3 most important places that you can be at. And this guy's still AFK here. I'm going to wake him up. This right here is what it looks like to take the line. I'm going to get my friend here. All you have to do is to hit this button right here, and then the minecart will pop up right here. And then all you have to do is to hop in, and then you're off. If you're following someone there, you wait for the second one to pass, and then you can get your own minecart and follow them. And just so you know, you don't want to ride this line if you have epilepsy, because this was mainly meant to save on space and rails. As you can see, there's only 1 set of rails, but you're going to get this right here. It works, you don't take any damage. It's just not that pretty. And here's the Nether Brick Road right here. Hope you like it. And just so you know, the piston bolts, like this kind of piston bolt, was not designed by me, but I did implement it in this server. The thing that was designed by me is that line transition you're going to see up ahead. If you look at the corner right there, there's a full speed line transition that lets you swap to the left. So this is my design right here. No damage taken. Very fast transitions. And in about 5 seconds, we're going to see a very nice view of the Nether Citadel. Designed by Agent 48, built completely in survival. This right here is the portal room, and if you know what that is, I'm going to show you it later. I think you're going to like it if you're an old player. As you can see, all you are is ejected right there. We're going to exit again. And since I have an elytra, I'm going to take this because it's faster. This right here is going to be the Nether Citadel's Nether Reactor. If you know what that is, then I'll give you props because you're an old player, and that's good. Right here is the portal room. This is going to be the nether hub because it's going to lead to the roof. We don't actually have anything here yet, and I don't know what that leads to. I've forgotten, but there are some things on the nether roof that are important, so we're going to show you that later. Here's a nice time to show off the custom enchants. As you can see, he's frozen right there. And he is gone. And right now we're going to go ahead and go on down. Those are stairs, and I don't like taking stairs. Now, if for some reason you do get stuck inside there for whatever reason, I'm going to refund your ticket and give you like a few extra diamonds, but don't try to do that intentionally, because it's an inconvenience to me and most of all you. Here's what it looks like to get back on the line.
For this line, you don't want to take it as fast as the other person, and there's a very specific reason for that. You can see right now, it seems normal right here.
Now, if you try to take the rides out of here in your inventory, then this is going to break them. That's because we have security here to make sure that you actually have a card to begin with. And I'm going to get off the line. You should not do this, but since I know what I'm doing, I'm going to go ahead and do that. It's going to go on without me. The reason you shouldn't do this is because you want the minecart to make it to the station. But I know that since I have a friend there, he's going to keep it loaded. So as you can see, inside here, the compasses are doing fine, right? But once I try to take one out, it starts to go crazy like this. And then when I try to put it back in, it doesn't stack. You can see it doesn't stack, and therefore it's not going to work. So this is now useless. And as long as they stay inside here, it'll be fine. But I also don't need this, so I'm going to toss it out. I like using single ride tickets. And we're just going to end off with a tour of the vault right here. Right here's my island. Player railgun, auto brewer, auto smelter, and behind there, right there is a cobble farm. And this will end off our tour. Remember, mine diamonds, you can take the subway line, and the subway can take you to places to get tons of XP. If you see right here, it says next to Phalanx Seawiz, 3946, and that's the amount of XP levels he has. And he got that from farming throughout the subway, so it's going to be a pretty nice server. If you plan to make a really nice build or like a really nice farm, I'm going to add it as a stop on a subway. I actually have a city design plan coming up. I've already started designing the roads, and I also have started to design templates for buildings like a casino or a brewery or like a grocery store where you can buy almost everything from diamond armor to totems. And yeah, it's going to be a nice server. If you want to join this, then be my guest. And that's going to conclude our tour. I'll see you guys later.